Hi, everyone. It's Alan yet again, Alan from ABTS Training Services in London, England, on this very, very nice, warm, mid-April day 2022. So there's your weather forecast, free of charge, okay? Um, if you remember, those of you who ever watched any of my YouTubes, I usually say at the end of it, if you've a subject you'd like me to discuss and it's possible to discuss it, in other words, I have knowledge, I'd be only too happy to do it. So, wham bam, a request came in via YouTube and it said, can you please make a video on how to get customers? Now, bit ambiguous there. So I'm assuming that this is customers for a freight forwarding company you have and not customers for products you might have imported. Okay, so we make that distinction. As the person requesting didn't exactly nail it down, as they say, I took it on myself. It's a lovely day, and I thought I'd talk about freight forwarding rather than customers. Okay, so how do you get how do you get customers for your freight forwarding business? Now, I've spoken briefly over the years on this subject, and without being pretentious, facetious, and all of those words, with great difficulty, with great difficulty. And I'm going to reiterate how I started off because it is still pertinent today, except today you've got gizmos to help you, like you've got the internet, etc., etc. In my day, you had a car. That was it. Not even a mobile phone. I'm talking about the 1980s, mid 80s in England. But the ethos on how you get customers for your freight forwarding business is roughly the same. I was fortunate that I started off with one customer who I approached before I set up my company, told him I was going into business, and he said, poor guy, you might last a week. You're married, you've got two kids and a mortgage. I tell you what, we'll give you our company business exporting, which they did, and which, touch wood, I worked on, and it became a really good account. Now, that's kind of Alice in Wonderland type of thing. That doesn't happen to us all. And I'm sure you're all saying it doesn't happen, Alan, to us all. So, get over that blip, yep, yep, and get down to the basics. How do I get freight forwarders? Now, with great difficulty, any business, as you appreciate, is very, very difficult to start up, from a coffee shop, from selling mobile phones on the side of the street, for starting up a business in cleaning, domestic cleaning. You just don't wake up one morning and go, "Poof, I've got a successful business." Any business you work hard at. Some businesses you work harder at. And unfortunately, freight forwarding comes in under the some business are harder than others to establish. So cut the cackle, Alan, and let's get down to brass tacks, as they say. So how do you do it? How did I do it? How is it done? Well, the very, very first thing you have to have nowadays, obviously, is a web page or website. Now, over the last few days, I have been examining websites set up by students, and they are going to go into the import-export business or freight forwarding. And they said, "Hey, Alan, can you cast your eye over our website?" And of course I do. But oh my goodness, I think, whoa, this is so dreary. It's unbelievable. So it's not a matter of me saying to you, you have to establish a website. It's the quality of your website. I'm teaching you how to suck eggs here, but you've got to hit a potential customer bang between the eyes and oh, I want to use these guys. At least I want a quote from them. They really are, they've got a handle on this. Let's give them a bell. Let's send them an email, whatever. Okay. And it could be that you have decided to be a freight forwarder specializing in a particular country. So your website will be devoted to that country. Some of my students are devoting their websites to Nigeria. So everything is Nigerian-esque to help people in Nigeria import. Okay, so it's very focused. So the very first thing I say to you is you set up your website. But for goodness sake, don't have an 8-page website with airplanes flying over and vessels and using words like we give you competitive rates and blah, blah, blah. No, people are too used to hearing this garbage on websites. You've got to be very professional, very concise, to the point, your strong features, and how you can help them. How you do that is your business. I'm not here to tell you how to do it, but it's your business. So a website. Now, a website is very passive, as we all know. You stick up a website. It's just like ABTS Training Services website. It's passive. We sit there like looking at it and thinking, has anybody even looked at us this week? How many people have been on our course this week? It's passive. We can't put a hand in through the computer and drag them in, slap them around the face and say, you got to join our course. No, it's passive. So your website is passive. In that sense, it's passive. So you've got to work hard on it. You've got to really make that count. So a website, you can't go anywhere without a website. Okay. Now, I haven't gone into detail of setting up your company because that's another era. It's another area, I should say. I'm just concentrating how to get customers. Now, the second one, and I don't think anybody or any one of you people watching, which I hope somebody is watching, I don't think any one of you like this one. And you're going, I don't want to do that, like a spoiled child, having to go to bed early or something. I don't want to do that. And the other one is soliciting, getting in your car and visiting companies. Soul destroying. Been there, done that, and destroyed my soul. So I'm not going to give you glib chat on this YouTube. Yeah, go and no. It takes somebody with vigor, with energy, with a vision, with get up and go in them, who wants to be successful in the freight forwarding business, that they get up in the morning, they get in the car, and they start going around industrial estates and companies, knocking on the door. Is it possible to talk to your shipping manager? No, go away. Ah, good. Yeah, come in. So that is physically going to those places. It can be counterproductive in the sense that you're wasting time and money, petrol money, going around. And the more you go around, the more rejections you get. Trust me. You just go, bleh, bleh. And by 4 p.m, you're thinking of every excuse in the world to go home. I beat the traffic jam. The children miss me. But you have to slog it on. Now, next question, I'm sure you're saying, okay, he's talking about he jumps in the car and he visits companies. Where the heck does he get these companies to jump in the car and visit? Good question. I'll answer that. Many ways. First way, and again, I'm telling you how I used to do the cold calling bit, and it's still prevalent. It's still prevalent today. And that is going to your local Chamber of Commerce and asking them for a list of all members who export. Bingo. You've got phone numbers, addresses, and contacts. So if you go around your local area, or you don't have to go around, just contact them and ask them, may I have a list of your members? That's all. Some of them are shopkeepers. Some of them are lawyers, solicitors, dentists. Some of them export. So you go down from the A to a Z and you underline all the export ones. Now, you can do one of two things. You can jump in the car, blah-de-dee-blah, blah-de-dee-blah, visit them, etc. Or you can call them. Don't send an email because they'll just go delete, delete, delete. I find that. Delete, delete. Okay. Contact, because you've got the name. So you're contacting Miss Jones. And Miss Jones, I'm Alan of Fast Freight in London. I noticed that most of your exports are to Nigeria. And I'd really welcome the opportunity to come in and show you the level of service we can give you and the rates we can obtain for you. When would it be convenient for me to come in? Okay, someone will say, no, we've been with our freight forwarder for 20 years and we're not going to change them on a phone call. Okay, but could you please bear me in mind if you do have to change? Yeah, okay. Or, as I say, you can jump in your car and you can go around because you have a list and you know the people you're hitting on that list, figuratively speaking, hitting, you know they export. Okay, so local chambers of commerce. Now, in England, when I started off, I used local chambers of commerce, local within 40 miles of my office. So that was the first I had to drive. So I'd do a list of people in that band, and then I would go into 30, into 20, into 10. So that was my area. Now, when I saturated that, I opened up. And in my case, I said, okay, I'm going to contact all the freight forwarders, all the exporters in Manchester and surrounding areas. So I get onto the Manchester Chamber of Commerce, I speak to the lady or gentleman there, and they send me their yearbook with all memberships and what they do. Or some of the mean ones charge you. They say, it's £10 to buy the book. Yeah, okay. Now, you can do that all over England without leaving the comfort of your office. So you can get all these contacts all over the place. And I say this is where the difficult bit is. And for places, instead of Manchester, it could be Kigali, for the want of a better place. Or it could be in America, and you're in California, wherever. You've got all your chambers of commerce around you. Okay. So then again, you contact them and say, this is the difference. This is where you have the violin out, so to speak. What you say to them is, hello, my name is Alan Bracken. I'm of Fast Freight London. My team and I are in the Manchester area. Of course you don't have a team. My team and I are in the Manchester area next Monday to Thursday. We really would appreciate if you could offer us an interview, which will take maximum a 10-minute presentation. Now, they know you're coming all the way from London, or you're coming from North Dakota to South Dakota, and it's very, very few. It's psychological. I don't know what it is. You do get it, but not many people say, no. They said, well, okay, if you, where are you coming from, Alan? London. Okay, when are you coming up? Well, I'm coming up Sunday night. I'm staying in a hotel in the city centre, and then I'm off. I'm making my list out of companies to visit. Yeah, okay, come in and see me. And then, of course, you come in and see them. Now, they are, you can also use, that's two, okay? That is cold calling through chambers of commerce, and your your online website. Okay. Um, they really are the two main ways. If anybody knows any other way nowadays, please tell me. I'd love to tell everybody about it. But they are the two main ways of finding out new customers. The third one, and I'm talking about the UK here, but I know we're not alone in this. Our government in the UK, their export departments, for the want of a better word, have so much information, so many websites they refer you to. So if you go online to your government website and say, list of exporters to Sri Lanka, list of exporters to UK, then you can refine it. List of exports to UK of shoes, tinned fruit, whatever your forte is, whatever you want to get into shipping. You might be general shipping, but so government agencies are awash with statistics. Awash with statistics. You can go onto EU websites, and I'm using just the generic word EU websites without being in particular. You've got to do it yourself. EU websites, and they will give you every piece of information on how much Italy, obviously EU member states, Italy imports from other member states. Bingo. You've got all the importers of leather goods in Italy from other member states. So you can contact them. That's if you want your freight forwarding business to be global rather than just local. You're sitting in your office and you only export from your country, in my case, the UK. But if I want to export from Italy, it's not in this YouTube how you do it, but maybe one day I'll do a YouTube on how you can export from other countries without too much hassle. Okay, we'll talk about something like that. So I'm going to leave you. I don't want to go drone on and on this. So all I've done is assumed the question from that viewer when they said, can you make a video on how to get customers? I'm assuming it was freight forwarding. If it wasn't, please tell me. Please tell me. And I'll go on another tack for you. So I'm going to say goodbye to you. And I hope you're all keeping well out there. And keep at it. Keep at it. Don't. Any business is not for the faint-hearted. And please, 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 you ain't going to become a millionaire overnight like some people on YouTube will tell you. If that was the case after 40 years in the business, I think I would be doing this from a penthouse, and you could see my helicopter coming in the background, which I do not have either one. So there's a lot out there, folks. There's a lot out there. And it's I don't want to go into scam land right now, but there's so many companies out there that will say, put yourself in my hands, and for $500 I will give you a list of people you can export to, and really do. Be very, very careful. Do your own thing. Unfortunately, I have to say this, beware of scammers. And I think if you're a young person watching this, you know better than an old timer like me about scamming. So beware of scammers and beware of these people who will say they will hold your hand. There are plenty of them in England. We will hold your hand. We will talk you through your freight forwarding business, and we can do this for a fee of £1,000 a week. And we're on tap 24/7 and all this rubbish. I'm going to finish with that. Beware of scammers. You don't get anywhere without graft unless you win the lottery, or if you're a young lady and you marry a multi-millionaire, best of luck to you. But for us mere mortals, we have to graft. We have to graft. So I'll say goodbye to you. As usual, I love talking to you. Thank you for watching. And have a look at abtslogistics.co.uk, and there we show you what kind of courses we have for you to prepare you, like as a freight forwarder, as a buyer. Okay, folks, there's the advertisement over. I'm going to wish you well again, and let's talk soon again. Okay, bye now.